Hey, welcome back. What we're going to go through today is a 10-minute or less morning wake-up routine that is movement. Our bodies are made to move. And so this movement is going to take your body through all the different angles and ranges of motion that it needs in order to hit all the different corners that helps you be ready to get out and get moving and feel good for the rest of your day. Whether this is kind of a warm-up getting into your morning workout or just into whatever your work day or the rest of your life needs to look like for the rest of that day. And so I got a timer that I'll start before I do this, but definitely before you do this, I'll know that in my specific morning routine, I also do some things right when I wake up, like getting out and getting some morning sunlight outside, letting the sun kind of hit my face, and that's really good for my circadian rhythm. I also sip on some water or even some electrolyte. You can add a pinch of salt or some electrolyte into that water just to get my hydration going for the day. This is great for fluid balance and great for restoring some of the fluid that I lost through the night. So I encourage you to start your day with that here. But once you got some of the morning routine going, you got your body going, you got some morning sunlight, you got some hydration, then you can start your timer and get through this morning routine. So I'm going to start my timer and make sure that I honor that 10 minutes or less here. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to start in just a standing position. And so I'm going to be going through getting some angles here. And so I'm going to pull one knee up just to get my body balancing. I'm going to do a figure 4 where I actually pull my shin across my body and pull it straight up. So I keep my hand underneath my knee as support, and my other hand is grabbing my ankle here. And so I'm just gonna alternate, and whenever I pull it up, as I pull up, I'm also gonna squeeze that back glute of that support leg and pull it up. I feel a little stretch in the glute. This is just getting me going. All right, get about 10 reps of that. And then I'm going to get through a few arm circles here. I'm going to raise my arm up. So as I'm going to imagine I'm scooping, I'm going to raise my palm up as I'm raising it up forward. And then I'm going to reach it back behind. I'm going to turn my hand as I come behind. So I come up, turn, let my chest turn. I'm going to get 5 to 10, whatever's feeling right for today. Good, and then I'll get reverse the direction, get 5 more. I'm going to scoop it the other way. I'm going to turn my palm back this way. I'm going to reach it back forward as I come back around, keeping my arm as close to my ear as I can get it. And then I'll switch to the other side. So this is getting my shoulder nice and lubricated and moving through the day. Yeah, feeling good. After we get through some of this, we're going to move down to the floor. Okay. Nice. All right. Now I'm going to come down to the floor. And what I want to do here is I'm just going to get my body into this big, deep lunge position here. And I'm going to put my hand on top of my foot. Okay. So this other knee is back behind here. My hand is down on the floor to support. I'm going to push out on my leg with my elbow. I'm just going to rock my hips side to side, okay? And as I go side to side with the hips, I'm going to try to push the hips down to the floor and push out with the elbow, kind of stretching that forward leg a little bit. You do this for roughly 30 seconds to a minute, just kind of loosening up the hip there a little bit, lengthening that hip, especially if I do a lot of sitting. That really can get pretty stuck, feeling a little stuck in the morning. Once I get through that, I'm going to rock back on this back knee, and I'm going to point that leg in front of me. And if you can't come here, that's okay to come up to here. It's totally fine. Okay? But if you can, reach your hands down to the ground as you're reaching your foot forward. And I'm just going to pull those toes up and point them forward. Get around 10 reps of this. You feel a little stretch in the hamstring. We're kind of massaging that nerve tunnel there, getting the hamstring moving. Okay, and once you get through about 10 reps there, you're going to switch sides. I'm going to put my hand on top of the foot, push that elbow out on the knee, and I'm just going to rock my hips. We're just trying to have some continuous movement here. Just moving those hips around, trying to push my hips down and forward. Getting through some good full range of motion here. Now I'm going to rock back. Feeling good. I'm going to point and pull the toe. Feeling pretty good now. I'm starting to feel a little bit loosened up in the legs, front to back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift forward here. I'm going to get my feet into a really wide position. I can use my hands as support. Totally fine. And if this is where you need to be, if you need to stay up here, if this is where you're more comfortable, that's fine. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going down the side. I like having hand support because then it's not so much on your legs, your leg strength or anything. I'm just going to use my hands. I'm going to come down as far as I can. If this is how far you can go, that's great. If this is where you feel stretched, that's great. But we're going to be here and we're going to see if we can, how low we can get. If I need to shift my hand position, that's fine. I'm going to try to keep our body nice and upright as I stretch down here. I'm going to try to move my hands and walk side to side. Just kind of opening up that groin, that inner hip, those adductors there. And I'm just going to get a few reps each side, like 3 to 5 reps each side, so that's like 6 to 10 total. It's okay for those toes to come off the floor as you're rocking. And again, if you just need to be right here, this is good. This is your home right here. Okay, now I'm going to walk my hands over to the side. I'm going to bring both feet back behind me. I'm going to get into this downward dog position. Now I'm just trying to lengthen those calves and pushing those heels down to the floor. Getting my body going. I'm going to try to actually do a little bit of calf raise and really point those toes a little bit. Getting those ankles moving and active. Sometimes I wake up with pretty stiff ankles, especially if I've done any kind of running or significant walking or anything the day before. Or even doing a lot of sitting can get those ankles really stiff. So this is just getting those actively moving. I'm going to walk my feet back up here. Now we're going to go through, we've kind of opened up the hips a little bit, but now we want to lengthen that hip a little bit more. And so we got a couple options. You can choose one or the other. You can do a quad stretch and reach here where you're alternating. Quad stretch and reach. If that's just too hard to balance, it's totally fine. What we want to do here is we're just going to get a little bit of a pump. Here, you can do one or both of these. You're going to get into the split position, the split squat position, and you're going to really squeeze your glutes, this back glutes, so that your hips are as far forward as your hip will allow. And then you're just going to kind of come up and down. You're not going full range of motion. You should feel a slight lengthening in that front hip. You get 5 to 10 reps here. Now we're getting a little bit more of a pump here, a little bit more of a up and down movement, getting those muscles a little bit warm. We're going to switch sides. I'm just going to come up and down. We're feeling good. Really squeeze that back glute, so I'm lengthening that front hip. And keep squeezing it as you come down so that you're lengthening this muscle, this front hip here, okay? Now we've done that, let's get a little bit more of a swing in the upper body, swinging side to side. It's okay to turn the hips a little bit with this. Want to open up that back, that upper back here as we're swinging. So really rotate that palm up as you're swinging side to side. It's going to nicely open up the scapula on the back side of your back. Okay, and I'm going to swing up to the side just for a few reps here. And I'll come straight back. And now to finish this off, all I'm going to do, this is really good for, we've already been moving. Our muscles are naturally pumping blood and lymph around our body to get moving, but now we're just going to finish off with a little bit of a bounce, okay? This little bit of a bounce is great because this is causing that rebound of fluid from your feet, your lower limbs, back up to your heart and your upper extremities. So this is getting you moving a little bit. You don't have to do this very long. You can do this for 30 seconds to a minute. And there you go. Less than 10 minutes, you're good to go. We work through full ranges of motion in the hip and even in the ankle. And now we also work through upper body ranges of motion. We got ourselves moving for the day. Got the blood flowing, the lymph flowing. It's a good start to your day. So give this a little bit of a morning 10-minute routine a try. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know your feedback. Put it in the comments what you like about it, what you might add, what's been good for you as you've done it yourself.